Hey, we're here, E3 2011, back at the Square Enix booth. I'm joined by Kyle Peschel, senior producer?
Yeah.
Senior producer on Tomb Raider. Kyle, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
Now, what we saw at the Microsoft press conference, pretty far cry from the typical, usual Tomb Raider experience, but it seemed like we are still seeing kind of the exploration, the puzzle solving, and just the elements that you kind of expect from a Tomb Raider game.
What you're finding is a character that's not Teflon anymore. Like, things are sticking to her. There's impact, there's emotion, there's weight to who she is, to the character art that she's part of, to the work that the creative team has really done in bringing her front and center and having you feel this tie to her as she moves through the world, as she falls down out of this cocoon-like sack and there's a huge piece of rebar that just penetrates her side and you're like, oh damn, like that's serious, right? Like that has impact, and she reacts as if it has that same impact.
Pardon my French here, but in that first half of that demo, Lara really gets the shit beat out of her pretty badly. How do you keep this experience from getting too grim?
I think that it's all about where she is emotionally and where you as a gamer are in relating to her, right? In the very beginning, it was very important to us to show a very young and frail Croft. I mean, she's 21 years old. She just fell off of this massive endurance ship. She's shipwrecked. She wakes up having no idea where she is, and she's responding to that very hostile world. After that has been established, you start to bear a different relationship with her, and you start to watch her mature over the course of the game. And you find that as you find yourself in situations, it's relatable, it's understandable on where she is, and you have compassion for that. If it's just senseless violence, then it's just, it distances you from who she is and what you want her to become as you're playing with her.
You know, Crystal Dynamics has been kind of ushering the Tomb Raider franchise for a while here. Has kind of already had a reboot. What inspired this another go at it?
I think that as developers, we have a huge amount of pride in the games that we work on, and Noah and the team at Crystal's done a great job of saying, hey, we finished a story that was trying to be told between Legend and Anniversary and Underworld, and now it's about the lore that we as Crystal want to make and that we want to play and be an expression of artistic, endeavors from the team, and see a character that you go, man, I kind of felt something for that. That was a memorable moment as I was playing through. I commonly reflect just myself. In one moment, I'm claustrophobic. Yeah. And there's this scene where like we just crunch it down and the camera's in there with her and she's in and there's a foot of clearance and her hand's touching the ceiling and the torch being snuffed out. And as she's moving through this very small space, I find myself, even as I'm playing, I'm like shrinking down in the chair. I'm like, oh man, I'm not responding well to that. And the fact that I can get an emotional response from a medium like this is where the real power is, and it's what the team's really excited to bring to bear.
Now, do you consider this a full-on reboot, or is this like, if you were to continue down this path, are we going to see kind of a different future for Lara, or is this kind of representative of where the character as we know her is coming from?
There's a very common sense approach to this. Is a reboot for sure. This is showing her origin. It's about taking her and making her into a survivor. At the end of this game, you're not going to find her in like hot pants or something like that, and her proportions changed. It's about us saying this is the first note in a complex piece. We're going to get her situated. We're going to identify with her, and at the end of this game, you're going to start to watch her arc go where we would like her arc to go to. It's not going to then fall directly back into like short shorts and tumbling around, right? It's about if she starts to learn gymnastics over time, that would be something that we as a team would choose to have her move into. It's not at the end of the game she's going to do a backflip off a rock and shoot a tiger in the face.
I was going to say, hard to imagine this Lara fighting a dinosaur.
You never know what that world has in it, right? But I could see how you'd feel that way.
Excellent, Kyle. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, everyone.